Ich habe mich verklickt. Ich habe mich verklickt. Ich habe mich verklickt. Ich habe mich verklickt. Sorry, ich wollte eigentlich zurück und jetzt habe ich den Beweis vorgelegt. Beziehungsweise ich wollte mir das Foto nochmal genauer angucken. Okay. Ich wollte mir das Foto genauer angucken. Present. Ich wollte mir das Foto nämlich genauer angucken. Moment of Crime. Aber das kann ja gar nicht der Moment of Crime gewesen sein. Weil die ja schon Blut da drauf hat. Then she trusts the pointy tip of the knife into the good man's chest. Ich glaube, ich muss das Foto beim letzten Statement vorzeigen. Then she trusts the pointy tip of... Mann, ich habe mich wieder verklickt. Ich wollte eigentlich die Map ansehen. Oh, come on. Ich wollte eigentlich die Map ansehen. Mann! Das regt mich auf. Es war sogar richtig! Fuck, ich lade jetzt nochmal neu. Fuck this. Sorry, Freunde, aber das geht so einfach nicht. Weil ich brauche jedes einzelne Leben, ja? Gerade für die Methoden, die ich gleich benutzen werde. Mann! Ich habe mich eben verklickt. Ich wollte die Karte angucken. Mann, das regt mich auf. Ich wollte eigentlich nur die Karte angucken, okay? Und dann habe ich sie vorgelegt als Beweis. Mann! So eine Scheiße! Jetzt habe ich Check gedrückt, anstatt es zu präsenten. Egal. And you witnessed this. You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is a photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Ahem. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than you ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? Ark, you got a better idea? Objection, no objection. Moment, das könnte jetzt wichtig sein. Okay, wir müssen jetzt zum Beispiel No Problem wählen für die Trophäe, weil dann zeigt uns Angel Star, die zeigt uns dann ein also eigentlich müssen wir Objection wählen, wir machen jetzt aber No Problem, weil sie uns dann ein weiteres Mal ihr Fisch zeigen wird. Ne, ihre komische Lunchbox da. Und wir brauchen das für eine der Trophies. Now that you mention it, I see no problem here. Other than myself. But Mr. Wright, you can't just let him walk all over you. That's just sad. Feeling sad, Mr. Wright? Perhaps a bittersweet first love lunchbox is in order. Oh, die sieht aber lecker und süß aus. Schaut euch das mal an, die würde ich gerne essen. Well, that was a waste of time. Let's continue with the testimony. Perhaps I should have dug a little bit deeper. Alright. FSK 18 Stream. So, jetzt dürfen wir das Ganze auf jeden Fall richtig machen. Ja, auf jeden Fall Alcatraz. So, wir machen das Ganze nochmal. Nur dieses Mal werden wir Objection droppen. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understand it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor's guy was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. What? These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditation murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. The murder was planned, the rubber gloves prove it. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. Hey Anton, grüß dich. Schönen Abend. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to the murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Ah! Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got them thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. It's only a flash when Mr. Wright... Okay. Never give up. John Cena! Du, 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 du. Okay, es gibt zwei Optionen, wo ich gleich nochmal aufpassen muss, wegen der Trophy. So, wie machen wir das jetzt? The murder was planned. Okay. Wie können wir sagen, dass der Mord nicht geplant war? Vielleicht das Parking-Ticket? Höchstwahrscheinlich das Parking-Ticket, oder? Weil, ja, kurz... Ja, doch, es kann nicht geplant gewesen sein. Wenn es geplant gewesen wäre, gibt es das Parking-Ticket nicht. Ich meine, es ist das Parking-Ticket. Ich bin mir nicht ganz sicher, aber es müsste das Parking-Ticket sein. Ich glaube, es ist das Parking-Ticket. Never mind. Oh! Dann doch die Waffe. Ha! Ich depp. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunchboxes for a living, you know? That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? Oh, the defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? Warum ist ein kleiner Junge in so einem Fall im Raum? Es ist... The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, The murder weapon. Ah! This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to plan a murder. If you are going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Ah! Ist echt so, Anton. Order, order, order! Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail, but this shoots a role in the whole premeditated theory. Bah! The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana's guy, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need proof, nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... Yeah? I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My power is deduction. My powers of deduction are not be underestimated. Really now? Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive the human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. Hat sie nicht nur einmal zugestochen? The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, does it? So if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Witness. Peggy 400 IQ. Ja, richtig, da steht einmal. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. Huh? What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk! He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed. Well, witness. You got the crime scene set, right? Alter, guckt euch mal die Lunchbox an. Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Ich glaube, ich muss das Foto vorzeigen. Ich bin mir aber nicht ganz sicher. Ich muss noch mal fragen. A red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. This guy was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait, isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib! A judge with a bib? That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance. Ja, die hat gar keinen an. Die hat gar keinen an. The fuck? She doesn't have a scarf, bitch. Fuck, ich hätte das nicht sagen dürfen. Die Doppelpunkt. Die hat doch gar keinen an. Scheiß Lügnerin. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself. And you, with this photograph, huh? But that can't be! Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Huh, harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection, chopped liver? Schon wieder. But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertainment interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition of her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes, when I arrived her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made it to escape, but against Angel Starr, resistance is futile. You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Starr. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Raw. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. If you will. Ist echt so, Anton. Deadly poison. 1 mana, give you a weapon plus 3 attack. Was? So where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do next? I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. You say quickly, were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Huh, maybe I should press her for more details. Mann, ich hab mich verklickt, Baby Rage. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murderer from here. That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Star? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing! The caught-up queen, lunch lady athlete, indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence, so she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? Ich denk mal, ich zeige jetzt einfach die Floor Map. Oops. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By the phone, do you mean... this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory... It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see? No, the court doesn't see Miss Star. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order, and so she used her cell phone? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Ah, good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. The word muffler was overheard during a call made to Emma at 5:18. I saw it all, how she tried to fall on the wall, but had to use her... Ja, hier muss ich die Karte präsentieren, das geht doch gar nicht. Weil da ist doch diese Absperrung davor, die kann das ja nicht sehen. Miss Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Star, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me and I'll make you cough it all up. Ahem. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were on B block, you couldn't have seen it! Order! What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. Gah. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... So, jetzt kommen wir zu einer weiteren Lunchbox. 2, um genau zu sein. Wir müssen jetzt erstmal die beiden falschen Optionen auswählen, damit wir Lunchboxen präsentiert bekommen. She lied about what she saw, in other words. She didn't see Miss Sky using that emergency phone. It does seem hard to imagine how she could have. Very logical. What's the matter, Star? Cat got your lunchbox. Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating a victory, but why would Miss Star lie like that, huh? Why would she say that my sister had tried to use the phone, but failed? It doesn't make any sense. Why lie about something so insignificant? Oh, dang, she's right. I mean, maybe she really did her did see her try to use the emergency phone. I see no room for doubt here. Oh, Melone. You ordered the Petui on rice, right? Mr. Wright, and I thought you had something there. One more try. So, dann wählen wir als nächstes die Order of Events. She lied about the order of events. Miss Sky used that emergency phone before the murder. I see. I hadn't thought of that. That took the wind out of her sails. Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating a victory, but why would anyone use the emergency phone before the murder? Huh? Just when you think he can't sink any lower, he amazes us. I applaud you, Mr. Wright. You ordered the orange peel lunchbox, right? Orange peel, wer ist denn sowas? Hä, worum geht's denn? I guess that teaches me the not get excited before the evidence. Okay. Where she saw it? Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing, therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it. Pointless to lie, I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location. Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Vielleicht vorher speichern? Ja, das klingt eigentlich nach einem Plan, weil ich habe nur noch ein Leben, weil ich jetzt zweimal was falsch beantworten musste. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place where Miss Star witnessed this crime was here. Im Security Room. Ich gehe ganz stark davon aus, sie hat ja gesagt, sie hat auch einen Freund im Security Room und ich ging eigentlich bis eben davon aus, dass sie hier ist. Ja, Security Room. This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room. Indeed, the security room is in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot. Huh? She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in an A block. The only place where she could have seen the picture, the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought the lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Star. Ich bin ein richtiger Man. Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they are guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Wells! Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Star witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from the B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change?